There we go. I'll just give you a few more of these. Yes, in fact, the rhythm is based upon the rhythm of the music that you hit. See, I'm not going to let you be cooler than me. It's based on the rhythm of the music that's going on in the background. We're trying to subtly reinforce the rhythm that you should be playing. Okay. So I was doing it really badly because my thumbs getting really tired, and that's why I thought. So but if I did it well, like the perfect one I did was this morning at 9 o'clock for some bizarre reason. If I do it well, then you can see me getting into the rhythm and the music builds up. It's like as if the music's on a flywheel and it's just noticing what your combat is, and that flywheel gets faster, which actually triggers more musical events. Okay. Any other questions?
Only delay in the end.
No? I'll tell you what. Can I just, you can look at this afterwards. What I've noticed is if people fight while I'm talking about this next feature, and they look at the screen and don't pay attention at all. I want to just talk about death. I inadvertently mentioned death in my very first interview 2 days ago, and now I feel honour bound to tell you about it. I can easily demonstrate it, except for one thing, is that the game has been locked into God mode, so I can't kill him off, so I can't demonstrate who he is. But here's the thing about death, and this will give you a glimpse of the way we're thinking about Fable 2 and some of the challenges that we're trying to go against. Death in computer games goes something like this. 99% of the games are the same. You get to some fight, doesn't matter whether it's a first-person shooter or it's an RPG or a level-based game or even a platform game, they're all the same. You get to a fight, you get near to killing the big baddie off, your hit points get low, you drop down to the ground, you die, the screen goes black, you get a reload of the level, you go back to the last checkpoint at the start of the level, you get the same little bit of cutscene again, you have to listen to again, you go through the fodder, you go to the big boss, you die, you go back to the start again. It's incredibly tedious. We've all experienced it. Most games are exactly the same. The reason that is done is because we as designers want to give you attention about combat. We want to give, a combat without tension, without a price on death, means that it's not worthwhile. And so we started to sit down and think, well, is there some other tension that we can give you rather than reloading the level and forcing you to do the fight again? I hate the fact that the rhythm of the fight is broken by your death. And I'm inspired by Hollywood when they hardly ever kill their heroes off. They really badly hurt them, like Rocky Balboa falling down in the ring with his face mashed like a half-boiled steak, and then getting up and defeating his opponent. And I think that the tension we can put in, we can experiment with. And currently we're experimenting with this. And what it is, it turns out to be to do with some stuff I've been talking about before. And that stuff is, remember, this is a role-playing game where the world pays attention to you and notices you. And the system that I'm going to put forward is all based on one thing, which most of you have. It's called vanity. Most of you have vanity of some description or another. And so imagine a system like this. You're fighting away, whether it's a boss or a single creature, it doesn't matter. Your hit points start getting low, you run out of hit points, your hero collapses on the ground. Instead of the screen going black, the camera comes in close to you, the baddies close in and they start really laying into you. They start kicking you, they start shouting, you useless, I heard you're a hero, you're not a hero, we beat you, we defeated you. They stamp on your head, they're really being vicious. It really feels quite distressing actually. And then something interesting starts happening. They're hitting you so much that your hero starts being scarred. And those scars are going to last for the rest of your game, and there is no way of removing them. Absolutely no way. And that means if you die a few times, and you don't pay the price, and I'll talk about that in a second, you're going to have scars all over your body and your face, and you'll walk down the street and people will go, oh my God, that's horrible. You'll come home Because remember in Fable, you can play as a girl or a boy, by the way, and you can get married to a man or a woman. Well, I'll say man now for ease of discussion. You can chat up a girl, you can get engaged, you can get married, you can have unprotected sex, and you can have kids. And if you are horribly scarred and you come home and your wife comes out and she says, "My God, what's happened to you?" That is an emotion. It's going to make you feel something. If your kids run out the door and go, "Daddy, Daddy," and then go screaming away because you look like something that's been grilled on a barbecue, that's going to make you feel something. And you're going to feel more tense in a battle. Now, the first thing is I need to think of a mechanic so you can avoid getting scarred. And what that mechanic is when you're laying on the ground, up along the bottom here, there's two numbers. And that's the amount that you're willing to pay in gold or the amount you're willing to pay in experience. And if you pay that, you'll jump up immediately and continue on the fight from where you stood. If you don't pay that, you'll jump up anyway after 15 seconds. And that tension that gives you turns out, I think, to be more interesting than going back in time. Does anyone have any questions about what I've shown or what I've talked about? Yes?
How are the save games handled? Because I would imagine people would be very tempted if they get a scar to just reload and do it over again, like in a regular game.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Now, I don't mind people doing that if they really, really, really want to, but remember, it's just a cost. Now, if you don't mind spending another 20 minutes going through the battle, it's fine with you. But for me, paying 100 gold, I don't mind. It matters to me if I pay 100 gold and that 100 gold was going to be used to feed my children, that's when it matters. But I don't mind people effectively cheating. I mean, I have an ambition, we haven't done the save load at the moment yet, but I have an ambition to make this save dynamic. So it's just constantly saving. Bit of a challenge in the core machine. Yeah.
Now the impression that I'm getting is that the character is essentially immortal, whether or not you pay the money or take the scars,
Yes.
he'll just come back up after
Yes.
15 seconds.
Yes.
Are you worried that this might detract any from the challenge of the game?
Well, the heroes are immortal anyway. I mean, all it means in a normal game is you just go back 20 minutes in time. They're still immortal. You're just having to replay the same 20 minutes over and over again. So I don't think there's much of a difference there, really. And I'm also inspired by Hollywood. I mean, what film that you've ever watched has the hero really, truly died? They don't die, you know, and saving and loading means that, you know, effectively all of our characters are immortal in one description or another. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
The question then?
If you get sufficiently scarred or you know, beat up like that, will your wife leave you?
We're thinking of that. That paints a pretty mean picture of her. I mean, your wife or husband, by the way, and just remind you, this is the first game ever where the main hero character can get pregnant. Your wife or husband, it has certain attributes which aren't attractive at the moment. For example, one of the things that is super cool in this game, and I've told you there's something I've forgotten to tell you about combat by the way. It's really super cool in this game. You see this. You see all these streets and all these houses. They're totally explorable and they're totally buyable. You can buy every single one of them, and that includes things like castles, cathedrals, dungeons. You can totally buy them all.